Okay. So multiple angle identities. So there are three types of multiple angle identities that I want to talk about. The first are double angle identities. Yep. So sine 2x is equal to 2 sine x times cosine x. can use any of the three. They're all equivalent, and depending on the context, they may or may not be useful. So a lot of the time, why you have all these alternate forms, stop talking please, is because sometimes you'd be asked to do verifying problems involving these, so one of the three might be more useful than the other. I'm not going to ask you to do any verifying using these identities, so it's just about picking one that seems the most convenient to use. Okay with that? So, examples of the kinds of problems that I might ask you to do for something like this is to verify that sine of 120 is square root 3 over 2 using a double angle identity. So how can I rewrite sine of 120 as 2 times something? That's 2 times 60, right? So if I apply my double angle formula, that's 2 times sine 60 times cosine 60, right? And I go to my unit circle. Sine 60 is square root 3 over 2. Cosine 60 is 1/2. When I multiply them together, I do and get square root 3 over 2. And that's it. So it's literally just kind of plugging and chugging. You know what the answer is supposed to be. It's about correctly substituting the things into the formula and then correctly going to the unit circle and then doing a correct simplification afterwards. So, you could. You could. It'd be fine to do that instead. I just saw the 1/2 and the 2. 1/2 times 2 is 1, so I just was like, yeah, that looks good. But sure, you could do that also. So here you're asked to use a half angle identity to find the exact value of cosine 105. So since it's a half angle, cosine, or 105 is half of what? $210, right? I didn't ask what was half of 105. I asked 50, or 105 is half of. Everybody's okay there? And this angle in the top has to be able to be found where? Has to be something on the unit circle for us to be able to find the exact value of it. But it is. 210 is one of my unit circle angles. So I will now apply the half angle formula for cosine. The cosine of 210 is there, and then over 2. Everybody so far so good? So I've just plugged stuff into my formula, right? What am I going to do next? Good. So I'm going to go to my unit circle. I'm going to plug in the value for cosine of 210, which was negative. I forgot to write. Sure. So far, everybody's happy, I hope. Yes? Okay. What I need to do, though, this is not an appropriately simplified answer because I still have a fraction inside of a fraction. Everybody agree with this? This is no good. So I'm going to get that fraction out of there. But because the whole thing is in a square root, I'm going to have a big square root around whatever it is that I'm going to do to the top and bottom of this. Everybody good with that idea? I multiply the top and bottom of this by 2 over 1. Oops. Why 2 over 1? When I multiply in like this, that 2 is going to cancel the 2 in the denominator, right? So I have 2 minus square root of 3 over 4. Is everybody all right with that? So far, so good. There's a little bit of simplifying I can do to that. Does anybody notice what I can do? So I can think about this as the fraction of the top, or the square root of the top, over the square root of the bottom. And the square root of the bottom is 2. Now all that's left is for me to decide whether I should have a positive one or a negative one. So this is how I make that decision. I go back to the original problem, and I'm going to look at cosine of 105. 105 is in this quadrant, right? So in this quadrant, is cosine positive or negative? Right? So it's negative, so I want the negative. So my final answer will be negative square root 2 minus square root 3 over 2. It's all right. It's no big deal. So again, remember the square root of 3 is just a number, right? So it's the square root of a number, so it's okay. You happy with that? Okay. So on page 432, now I'm done. Wasn't so bad. I hope nobody is ready to have, like storm the castles or something here. That's it. That's enough. So 31 to 36 on page 432. Let me just go copy the other one and we'll put them both at the same place. You may. Yeah, you guys have 25 minutes still. Appropriate because your last name is Porter. A porter is someone that carries your stuff around for you. Yeah. Oh, I still am taking a video. We don't need to do that.